Hi everyone, it's Dr. Lalita here. Today's video is all about communication. Now, what does communication actually mean? It's such a broad term and everyone just throws it around. Everyone's like, oh, you need to communicate better. I don't understand. You need to communicate better with other people. You need to communicate better at work. But what does it actually mean? What does to communicate better? Or what does communication actually mean? Now, if you look in the dictionary, communication is all about you being able to feel something or do something and being able to express that through writing, through talking, through a different form for someone else to understand what's going on for you. Because that's what communication ultimately is you expressing something that's going on within you. Now, communication is actually the biggest killer in relationships. Because often people are in a relationship and one person's feeling something and the other person's feeling something, but they're not communicating to listen to one another. They're just trying to communicate, but each other aren't understanding, and that's why the biggest breakups in relationships happen, because of a lack of communication. And that's why it's so important first to understand or to communicate with yourself first, then to be able to communicate with like the external world around you. Now, we're never going to be in this place where everything's going to be perfect and we communicate amazingly with ourselves, because life is self-discovery. We're on this personal development journey and every day we're going to be learning something new about ourselves. So that's okay to constantly be learning new ways of communicating with ourselves and with the people around us. So communication then. What is one way that you can help to communicate with yourself? One way I give my clients, or one way that I tell my family, my friends, and also I do it. I never recommend anything that I haven't tried. But I also value the fact that we're all unique in our own way, and everyone has their own way of working with themselves. So it's about understanding what fits you as well. Because some people will prefer drawing pictures, some people will prefer doodling, some people will prefer poems, prefer writing. So everyone's different. So find out what suits you. Also, there's these really, really cool adult coloring books. They're brilliant. That just helps with meditation and just being mindful in the moment. And it just takes you away from like these sort of irrational thoughts that can sometimes come. But right, back to the point. The point is about journaling. Journaling is really, really important because it helps you to sit with yourself, no one else, sit with yourself, and you're communicating to yourself using a book. Now, again, you can use colors, you can use pictures, you can use drawings. There's so many different types of things that you can use. But why do I say that journaling is so important? Because I use it and I think it's brilliant. I draw, I write poems. There's so many different creative things that I try and do in my journal because it helps me to understand myself. And even with young children, I get them to draw out their emotions. What are their emotions feeling? What do their emotions look like? Because that helps them communicate to me what their emotions look like and what they feel like. And then we can help them to understand, okay, this is what anger feels like, or this is what happiness feels like. This is what sadness feels like. For me, this is what it looks like. So it's about then saying, okay, sadness is feeling this, or what is sadness saying here? So again, it's communication, but everyone has their own view of the world. Everyone sees the world very differently. So it's so important to understand, what does one thing mean to you? So for example, communication to me will mean one thing, communication to someone else will mean something different. But this is where it can get very tricky in relationships, in friendships, in career aspirations, because we're not communicating effectively. Now, what does communicating effectively mean? It means first understanding and focusing on yourself. So let me give you an example of a client that I used to work with. Client came to me when she was severely depressed. She was severely depressed because she wasn't happy in her life. And she said her main focus and her main goal in the therapy and the coaching was that she wanted to be happy. So why wasn't she happy? We started to understand her life cycle. We started to understand her past, and we started to connect with her inner child and try to understand why she was here in this world, and she was the way she was, and why she wasn't happy, why she wasn't enjoying her life, why she felt lost, confused, lonely. And we found out that actually it all came back down to that relationship with herself. So when she first came, she found it very uncomfortable to talk about herself because she'd never been in a place where she was able to speak about herself. So it was like, whoa, like, you're asking me how I'm feeling? Like, yes, I'm asking you, how are you feeling? So she found that very uncomfortable to begin with. So that, again, I brought that up for her. I asked her that it feels like it's really uncomfortable for you. And she goes, yeah. She goes, no one's ever asked me how I felt before. I'm always looking after everyone else. So when we went back and tried to understand this, the actual conditioning that she went through was from a very young age. So from a very young age, she was bullied at school. When she was bullied, she tried to be who she wanted to be, but she was never accepted as being this person. So what happened? She learned to dull her light. She became something that she thought everyone else wanted her to be, or something that everyone else accepted her to be. So she lost herself trying to please other people, or trying to be what other people wanted. So if friends were like, oh, should we go and play football? Or should we go and play cricket? She'd go and play with what the majority were doing rather than what she really wanted to do. And within that process, she lost herself because she never really, she learned to communicate with the external world. She could learn to communicate with other people rather than herself. And that's because of her learned conditioning there. So her conditioning was, I'm not important, other people are more important, and I need to please other people. So through our conditioning, we learn rules. We learn rules of how to live life. We learn rules based on what we perceive in the world growing up. Now, these all give us sort of an experience and an image of how we view the external world. So it happens also like even with people. We have an expectation from people. We have an expectation of the world around us. So this specific individual felt like the world wasn't a safe place. So for her to feel safe, she had to dim her light to feel like she fitted in. So she fitted in now. So as she continued through life, she went through to uni. She did a degree that she didn't really want to do. She did it because her parents wanted her to do it. Next, she went on, she got married at a young age, and that was because she found someone who accepted her, and she said, yep, this was it. And she felt connected, she felt loved, she felt that attachment with this person. But through the therapy, she learned that actually the way that relationship was formed, the way that her marriage was formed, was that this person who had come into her life made her feel like she was enough. But actually, when she felt this way, something was still missing. Something was still didn't feel right. She still felt lost. She still felt confused. Although she was happy in that relationship, she truly wasn't happy. And that wasn't down to the partner, it was down to herself, because she felt like there was something missing within her. And that was that light that she had within her, the light that she felt that she had always dimmed out, that was there. So through effective communication, she learned who she was. When she first came, she was really upset. She was like, but who am I? Who am I? What am I doing here? And one thing I said to her, I said, every day we're changing. There's never there's never a permanent state of this is who we are and that's it. Because every day, through every experience, through every reflection, we're changing. Imagine like plasticine. Every time you move the plasticine, you're never going to get back to the plasticine it once was when you brought it in the box. Like when I say plasticine, it's not plasticine. It's Play-Doh. That's it, Play-Doh. You know when you buy the Play-Doh and you put it into the pot and it's really, really cool when you take it out. It's a lovely shape, and then you just mess it up and you can never get it back to that beautiful shape it once was when you first brought it. That's what our life is. But we're always changing, we're always developing, and we're never ever going to be one person, because every day we change to a different shade. We become something different, and that's okay. One thing I said to her was, look, you need to understand that every day you're going to be changing. Every day that you're not going to be that this is who I am and that's it. Because often I find that people they stick to, but who am I? Who am I? Who am I? And they want to know who they are. And that can become quite addictive, because you're trying to be something or to try and understand something, but we're always changing. So how can you focus on that one thing if we're always adapting or transforming? I like the word transforming. So if we're always transforming, how can you know who you are, if that makes sense? So yes, we all have a blueprint. Yes, we all have values. Yes, we all have beliefs. Yes, we all follow a blueprint of how we see the world. But remember, this blueprint can be changed. And just like this client came in, and I see it with so many other clients, it's that disconnection they have with themselves, and that comes from their conditioning self. And that to reconnect that conditioning, to reconnect you to that conditioning and to change that, it all comes back down to communication. So to make changes, communication is important. But before you communicate with anything else, the tip of the iceberg of communication is communicating with yourself first, and then communicating with the outside world. So just like this client, she went to university, she started a course, she didn't like it. She was in a job that she didn't like. And yeah, she was depressed. She went to the GP, she was given medication, but she was like, it's still not changing anything. But it's only until she started looking within her did she actually start changing. And that communication, then she communicated that with her partner. She communicated how she was feeling with her partner. She communicated what was going on for her partner. Partner came to a few of the sessions. And actually, they grew and it made them stronger than ever. They went off and had children, and I know that she still messages me sometimes and just says, thank you so much. You've just really helped me to wake up to life. And that's what life is all about, is just waking up to who you are. And yeah, maybe once upon a time you wasn't able to be who you wanted to be, but it's never too late to be who you could have been. It's never too late to be who you want to be, because all you have to do is focus, have them goals there, but focus on yourself. And that's through communicating with yourself. So remember, communication is important. And I'm going to keep reiterating this over and over again, that communication is key. Communication is important. Communication is vital. So connect with your emotions. So get that journal. Every day, write down 2 things about the day that has happened. Any 2 things, so you can think of, okay, this happened today, or this happened today, or this happened today. What happened today? Write it down. Write down. Learn to understand what's going on within you. That will really, really help you. Number 1, communication is very, very important. Number 2, keep your journal. I want you all to start having journals and to make, start writing comments in the video below, just so I know who's listened to what I've said. And again, I wouldn't say anything unless I thought it was really, really important and it can help you. I've seen it happen, and I've seen how important it can be. Clients have come back and been like, I can't believe how journaling can help me understand myself. Because remember, every time you think you're running away from yourself, you're going to keep bumping into yourself. You're going to keep bumping into yourself. So stop running away from yourself. Get out your own way and step into your power. Step into your light, because that light was there to shine, not to be dulled down. It's there to shine and shine bright. So be you. That's what I want you to ultimately do, is just to love who you are and be who you are and feel confident and feel proud and just embrace that person that you are, because you're amazing. And you probably think, what the hell are you going on about? But no, you are. You're amazing. And you don't see it, but I see it. I see the beauty in everyone. But often you don't, and you need help to get there. So that's what I want to help to do. Okay, right. Thank you very much. And I will see you in the next video. Take care and have an amazing day. Bye-bye.